Relegation, Regen, Rebuild, a series by Aspiring DK. We've taken Arsenal back to League 2, fucked off their players, fucked off their money. We're rebuilding them with rookies and regens. It's episode number 66. Hello and welcome back to the Arsenal series, Relegation, Regen, Rebuild. And the general consensus in the straw poll was to simulate the rest of this season and get into next season's Champions League games. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this episode to get to the end of this season, make the January transfers, try and get Regen back into the squad, maybe pick up a few more bits and pieces along the way to strengthen this team. And we'll get into next season and try and get into the Champions League. So this episode is pretty much just going to be simulating a few youth squad reports. We'll wrap up the season. Hopefully we get through. If I have to play any games, I'll chuck some of the footage in and we'll just move on. So let's get into it. Starting off with a youth squad monthly report. Imada is a 65 to 83, not going to make the cut. We're going to release him. We only want quality players now. Now we've got Jadema, he's an 81 to 94. We're still scouting him. Jardam is an 81 to 94, could come in early into the squad. I may look at bringing him in pre-May. Yamura is a 77 to 94, looks pretty decent. Juan Nunez is a 84 to 90, could be okay, we'll see how he goes. Matt Whitmore, 72 to 84, not going to make the cut. Kawachi is a 72 to 90, looks pretty decent, but only 15 at this stage. Alvarez is an 80 to 86, he's going to go as well. Bariaja is a 70 to 90, we'll leave him in there for now, 6'7", delicious. Nightingale, 79 to 94. He's only 5'3" and 15, so he needs to grow. And Camacho, well, he's a glitched winger. He's only got a potential of 81, 61 to 65 overall. We'll see if we can get another May bump out of him and see what happens then. Okay, monthly scouting update, a 60 to 82, reject, another rejection, another rejection, and another rejection. What have we got? Sweden, an 88 will scout further. A 68 to 92 will scout further. A 65 to 87 will scout further. And a 61 to 85 will scout further. Okay, is it Romania? 60 to 84, we're going to reject. And we're going to scout him a little bit further. He's got some good physical stats there at this stage. All right, third round of the FA Cup. I'm going to do the simulation on this one live. And not a lot of action here in the first half. Packwood picks himself up a yellow card after 20 minutes. Christiansen's up front now. Juliet's out for 3 months with some sort of injury, and Christiansen actually scores a fucking goal. That is amazing. Okay, so we have a 1-0 lead. We're into the second half. There's about 20 minutes left. A few fucking changes. And are we going to come away with a 1-0 victory? Carmona Perez puts in the second. It's 2-0 to Arsenal. Okay, FA Cup match here against Everton away from home. A few new signings. Barkley scores for Everton in the 9th minute, giving them the lead. Come on, Arsenal. Stay with us in the FA Cup, lads. El Qatari scores, getting it back to 1-1. And then they score. It's 2-1 to Everton. Come on. Come on. El Qatari scores again. It's 2-2. And 90 minutes down. There'll be a replay. Monthly scouting update. 62 to 84, reject. 63 to 87, reject. And we're going to reject. 67 to 91 will scout further if we can, and we're going to reject this guy and scout further. Sweden, 71 to 94 in Afrani. We will scout him further. 64 to 82, we're going to reject, and we're going to reject him. 88 will scout further. 66 is rubbish. A 70 to 94, we're going to scout further. Darlin, we're going to reject, and we're going to reject Alvarez, and we lost David Johansson to another scout. Romania, 62 to 84, we're going to reject him. 67 to 91, we'll scout further. 66 to 88, we'll scout further. And the 60 to 84, we're going to reject. And we lost out on Stefaniawa. Stanislav Stefaniu. FA Cup, a 4th round replay. We've got them at home this time. Barkley picks himself up a yellow card in the first minute. Let's hope we can get through. El Qatari scoring. It's 1-0 to Arsenal. We move through to half-time with a 1-0 lead. Yarasuba's picked himself up a yellow card already. Wallace Melman comes on for Ownby. McNulty scores, but then Regen puts in a penalty. It's 2-1 to Arsenal on the day. 15 minutes to go. Final 10 minutes of this game, and we take it 2-1. Fifth round of the FA Cup, Arsenal versus Doncaster. We've got them at home. Gomez Moreno picks himself up a yellow card within 2 minutes, and not a lot of action from there. Furman picks himself up a yellow card after 27 minutes, and we go through the first half with no score. Moving into the second half, Main comes on for Morgan, Hikwi on for Renigi, Connolly on for Bennett, Wallace and Malman on for Ownby. Bertrand picks up a yellow card. No score as yet. And we hit the 90th minute, and it's going to be a fucking replay. All right, you scout report. This is the last one here, and we have a 68 to 86 reject. We're going to reject. We're going to reject. We're going to reject. Sweden 63 to 87 reject. 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 And a 67 to 91. It's another Renigi. I'm not going to take that gamble. Romania 65 to 87 reject. 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 And reject. Alright, sending the scouts out. There's only a couple left on the list. Make sure you're leaving me comments on where we need to send our scouts into the next season. But it's not looking like we're going to get a lot more players into this squad. Portugal. Quarterfinal here of the FA Cup against Leeds. Lads have been in a little bit of shit form lately. El Qatari's picked up a yellow in the first minute, and the Rocket Man puts one in after 21 minutes to give us the lead. Bertrand gets himself a yellow. Dakara misses a penalty. Renigi puts in a second. It's 2-0 to Arsenal. Yarasuba gets a yellow. Gebhardt comes on for Vals. It's still 2-0. 15 minutes to go. Final time. Gebhardt puts one in. It's 3-0 to Arsenal. All right, youth squad monthly report for April. Now, we're going to have to look at some of these kids and see if we want to promote them before the May bump. Jadema is an 86 to 92. Jardim 88 to 94. Yamura 85 to 91. Nunez 84 to 90. Kawashi is an 80 to 86. We're going to get rid of him. And 77 to 85, we're going to release. Nightingale, 85 to 91, and Camacho. Now, Camacho's come in and said he wants to be released from the youth squad. I've only got 4 spots. So I think we're going to have to miss out on the glitched winger here and let him go if he does. But I'm just wondering, these 2 young lads here, and Jardim and Jadema, I mean, at this stage of the series, it's probably worth letting them go through the bump because we're not going to be able to use them at 45 to 47. So I'm going to let them all go through to the May bump, and hopefully they get a decent bump and we can actually utilize them in the next season. Monthly scouting update from Greece brings us back a 58 to 82. We reject. We're going to reject the 84 and another 84, and we will scout the 87 further. Portugal, 57 to 79, reject. We're going to reject him. We're going to reject him. We'll scout him further, and reject him. And Nigeria, we're going to reject and scout further. All right, semi-final of the FA Cup here against Liverpool. Bertrand gets himself a yellow card after 5 minutes. And Origi scores after 20 minutes. Oh, Henry's got another one. And so it's 2-0 to Liverpool through the first half. We need to fight back into this game. Come on, Arsenal. Manquillo got himself a yellow card after 30, and there's not a lot of action here. Henderson puts in a third and pretty much kills it. Lovren with a fourth. And Liverpool have absolutely decimated us here in the semi-final of the FA Cup. All right, here we go. May bump time. Jadema 68 to 72, 86 to 92 overall. He looks all right. He's going to have to grow in physicals, unfortunately. We'll leave him there for now. Jardim is a 68 to 72, 88 to 94. He could be a nice young kid to bring in. Yamura 67 to 71, 85 to 91. Looks pretty decent. Nunez 84 to 90, 65 to 69. Nightingale 64 to 68, 85 to 91. And Xavier Camacho 63 to 67, 75 to 81. Didn't grow any much further. So, I mean, I'll just wait till probably they ask to come into the squad, and we've only got a couple of spots. So if it gets into next season and we have to do some transfers, I'd rather free those spots up for now. So we'll leave these guys in the youth academy. Lovely scouting update from Greece, and we've got a 75 to 94 in Theophanos. We're going to offer him a contract. And a 67 to 91 will scout further. An 82 will scout further. A 71 to 94 goalkeeper will scout further. We've scouted him for 2 months. 6'3" right back, 70 to 90. We'll offer him a contract. And 86 will scout further. Portugal, 75 to 94. Comes straight in, son. 61 to 83. We're going to reject. We're going to reject Alvarez. 87 will scout further. 83 can go. And a 68 to 92 goalkeeper will scout further. We missed out on Dominguez. Nigeria brings us back shit, crap, and a 70 to 94 in Ashempong. We're going to scout him further. He's 6'5", but he could be playing anywhere across that back half. We lost out on Barayaja. New scout report from Greece. What have we got here? Anything delicious. Reject. 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 Nah. Portugal brings us back. Oh yeah, we'll give him a run. He can be rejected. No, thank you. Pass on him. And no thanks. And Nigeria, 69 to 93. That's not good enough. We need definite players. We're going to sign him up and reject him. Okay, we have made it to the end of the season and it's time to do a squad report. Savaloni is a 74, gone up 1. He is growing just. Regatsu is an 82, gone up 3. He's growing all over the place nicely. Diarra is an 83, gone up 3. You can see there his stats growing incredibly. 98 jumping. Adam Tubbs is an 81, gone up 4, and he is growing across the board. That's good for him. Cantini's a 74, gone up 3, and he's also growing. Simona Perez, a 78, gone up 2. He's growing there just in the physicals now. Wallace and Mailman is an exciting prospect. 78, gone up 3. Still yet to grow in physicals, but yeah, he's still a little bit young. Generally about 21, 22, they start growing in physicals if you sign them up post-May. Gomez Moreno is an 81. He hasn't grown at all this season, so let's hope that something kicks in and he actually grows a bit more. Jed Stewart's an 82, gone up 2. He's growing everywhere. Probably doesn't even need any more physicals. Those technicals are catching up nicely. Atif El Qatari is a 78, gone up 2, showing great potential, and he's grown a little bit across the board, but hopefully he grows some more moving through. Nandula, it's an 80, gone up 2. Look at that. He's just growing across the country, and that is nice. Hopefully those technicals really get cranking and he turns into something really special. Andreas Runigi, we bought him for 18.5 million. 77, gone up 2, and his technicals are growing nicely. Hopefully those physicals will kick in at around 2021 if we get that far. Gebhardt is another player that I brought in this season for 16 million. 79, gone up 2 already. A centre back. Could be something pretty special to back up Tubbsy and Diarra Suba. Maximilian Wittek was another purchase for 9 million. 76, gone up 1. He hasn't got a lot of game time as yet and is started to grow, so that's good. Malura is a 74, gone up 1. Hasn't really done a lot this season. Jean-Baptiste Valls is another acquisition we made. We only paid 4 million for him. 75, gone up 1. Just wanted some backup for Cantini, and he's done a pretty good job there. Michael Chapman, the youngster, 74, gone up 4 this season. Hasn't grown in physicals. We may look at maybe loan glitching him out. He has the potential to be special, and he is growing nicely already. Market Ownby, 80, gone up 3, growing across the board. Rungming Den at 73, gone up 4. Also a 17-year-old, needs to grow in physicals. Bonin is a 72, gone up 2. It's been pretty quiet, hasn't grown a lot, and the physicals obviously not growing there. Will Smith, 73, gone up 1. Bard Nyland is a 70, he's gone up 2, needs to do some growing. Julian Krug, our second goalkeeper, is a 72. He did fuck all this season. Souness is a 60. He went up 5 this season, so yeah, that's not bad. Hikwi, he's stagnant. He's just a 71. I can't see him growing much, and just a handy backup fucking striker. Bertrand, an 81. He's gone up 4 this season. That's outstanding. Famina Farr hasn't grown, wants to be transferred, and we'll probably look at offloading him in the summer window, winter window, whatever the fuck it is. Parenta Tadai was injured, hasn't grown. We'll probably look at getting rid of him. Judema, we've just signed him up. He's a 70 overall centre mid, 17 years of age. We'll see what he turns into. Horgan, a 71. He's gone up 4. Needs to grow in physicals. Probably look at loaning him out. Nova Neto's a 67. He's gone up 4. Look at those physicals. He is very glitched, and that is delicious. Hopefully, 67, gone up 4. He's already 22, so probably not going to turn into what we were hoping for, but still a pretty decent jump there. Rander up to 72. He's gone up 4. Shanks a 63, gone up 2. Needs a loan spell. Jordan Henry's a 71. He's gone up 3. Needs a loan spell. Nick Coe is a 68. He hasn't grown at all yet. Pucciarelli, a 66. Well, he's just dead wood at this stage. Probably needs to move on. Chapman, the other goalkeeper, still out on loan. He's a 64. Done fuck all. Leonardo Costanza, 74. He went up 4, so that's good. Patrick Watts, a 74. He went up 4, so that's good. And that is our full squad going into the next season. So we actually finished 4th with simulations. Lost a couple of games there towards the end. We were in contention, but unfortunately we finished 4th. So, yeah, I don't even think... Is that even a Champions League spot? I'm not too sure. Well, I guess we'll find out when we get into the next season. West Brom, West Ham, and Crystal Palace were relegated. Now, if we didn't make Champions League, what I'll do is I'll just sim through another season until we get that Champions League season that we're looking for, and we'll try and get this series wrapped up before FIFA 16. Thanks very much for tuning in. Here comes the outro. Okay, so that brings this episode to a conclusion. Hopefully if you enjoyed it, hit like, hit subscribe, all that other shit, and we'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully getting into that Champions League action. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. You have a good one.